This is a Revit tutorial on how to make a complex roof. The roof we're going to be making today is a hip roof with a monitor. So the first thing we're going to do is go to our project browser and go to our elevations. I'm going to select my east elevation. Now the first thing we need to do is make two level lines. One level line to determine the top of our first roof and a second level line to determine the bottom of our second roof. So we're going to go up into our ribbon and select Architecture and go all the way over to the right and click on Level. Now we're going to hover over the end of our other level lines until that blue dashed line appears. Now I'm just going to click and drag to the right until another blue dashed line appears and click again. Later we're going to change the height of that line. Then I'm going to come back over to the end of the level lines, hover again till that blue dashed line appears, click and drag to the right, and then once again click where the blue dashed line appears. Now I'm going to hit escape twice. Now I know I want the top of my roof to be at 40 feet. So on this level line I'm going to double click on the numbers and type in 40 feet and hit enter. Now I know I want the wall around the top of my monitor to be 5 feet, so I'm going to double click on these numbers again and type 45 feet. Now we can start making our roof. So we're going to go to our roof plan. Once you're in your roof floor plan, you can go under the Architecture tab, select Roof, and click the drop down and go to Roof by Footprint. Now there's a couple things we want to look at again before we start making our roof. We want to make sure that these lines will define slope and that our overhang is set to 2 feet. I'm going to use the Pick Walls tool for this project. So now I'm going to hover over a wall until that blue dashed line appears. And I'm going to hover over the wall again and make sure that blue dashed line is on the exterior of the building and click. Now I'm going to hit escape and I'm going to use the Trim Extend to Corner tool to connect these lines. Simply click the line and click the line you want to join to, and Revit will automatically connect them. Now before we finish, we want to check something in our property browser. So look in your properties and look for cutoff level. Select the drop down and select the name of the first level we just made. In my case, it's level 11. And then click Apply. Now, up in your ribbon, select the green check mark. You've completed your roof, and now you can see that we have an opening for our monitor. I'm going to go into a 3D view to show you what we just did. So now you can see that there's a nice large opening in the roof where we can make our monitor. Next, we're going to make the walls around our monitor. So I'm going to go into level 11. It might be named something different in your project. So now we're going to go into Architecture, and under Properties I'm going to select a generic 4-inch brick. And I'm going to use the Rectangle tool up at our Modify bar to select the top left corner of the opening and drag it all the way down to the bottom right corner of the opening. And then I'm going to hit the escape key twice. Now we want to check that the top of these walls goes up to level 12. Again, level 12 may be named something different in your project. And now again, we're going to go to a 3D view to see what we just did. So now this is the wall that goes around the top of the monitor where we can put windows in later if you like. Now we're going to make the top roof. I'm going to go into level 12 and again go up to Architecture, Roof, select the drop down and go to Roof by Footprint. before we start, we want to make sure that we go into our properties bar and look at the cutoff level. We want to make sure that the cutoff level is set to none. And again, before you start, make sure that these lines will define slope and your overhang is set to 2 feet. Now, up in the ribbon, I'm going to select the rectangle tool out of the draw panel, the most upper left exterior wall, and go all the way down to the outermost bottom right wall. Then I'm going to click the complete check mark in the ribbon. Once in our 3D view, we can see that we finished our roof, and you've made a hip roof with a monitor.